the attacking when like defending.
I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. Now, Arsenal's under 23s, as you lot already know, people, and I apologize for the lateness of this video, but yeah, I've been up to my eyeballs in work. But Arsenal 4, Everton under 23s 0. What can you say, people? We had some good counter-attacking moves, some good team moves, some classic Arsenal historical, sort of goals you would expect on under an Arsene Wenger side, really. And I think his legacy, say what you want, statistically, for bringing through young players, Arsenal are high up there. Arsenal are very reliant on the youth academy. Our youth academy collectively might not be the strongest, but individually a couple of fruits are starting to bear, and they're progressing to the first team, and it's lovely to see. Now, when you think of Everton, I know they haven't started necessarily well in this game, or the season would be described as mixed in my opinion, because they're a quality side. Yeah, man, they're a good team. They moved the ball around, but they just couldn't cope with us, man. We played some lovely football, really lovely football. Salah Eddine's finish, and the composure levels from him, and the break and the movement and the pass, the initial pass to start the move by him. I think Balogun's got the flick. Mika Braithwaite's involved. He got a couple of assists. Our fullbacks are flying forward. Ryan Elabosu had a very good game. Swanson's got on the score sheet. 3 goals in the second half. With respect to Everton, I think the majority of the first half, you lot were sleeping. We was all over them. They're getting caught playing out from the back. They couldn't cope with our press. They couldn't cope with our right-hand side, where Mika Braithwaite was pulling over, and our right back in Ryan is flying forward, man to a man. They can't deal with it. Charlie Patino's playing 1-2 lovely passes, and I think it was for either the second or the third goal. I could be wrong, but he's clipped one ball over the top, and the initial header hasn't been dealt with, and that's led to a goal going in. So there was some good moves, people. As I said, for me, even though the goals came in the second half, it was positive to see the first 20, because I think the first 20 set the standard, and the byproduct of that was obviously Balogun breaking the deadlock, really, and bagging. Mika Braithwaite is very selfless with that assist. I think that was actually where the initial great pass from Charlie Patton. I played a couple of silky ones, if I remember correctly, in that game. I think that was it. I did think we needed to score a bit more. Everton did wake up a bit in stages, but first half, they weren't there in it. They weren't there. It was us, and this is where we need to kill off games. I think we might have even scored more, because it was a weird one. I think Everton hit back in the second half. I don't know where these 2 other goals came from. Well, 3 other goals to add to it. I didn't think we ever looked like we weren't in trouble, but for large periods, we ain't really got distance where the teams are concerned. And I don't advocate shouting at young players and whatnot, but at least the under 23s for Everton, and based on that first 45 minutes, their manager needed to tear into them and absolutely bollock them, because are you telling me you got on that, you did that big trip by coach or whatever, however much petrol that cost the club, however uncomfortable being on a coach for all them hours are, saying that it's an academy or Premier League club coach, so it probably isn't. Yeah, they got Sky and that. To go and put in a performance like that, a lot of them might not even have stepped on the coach. A lot of them left their brains and their abilities out there in Liverpool, because again, they weren't at the classical standard of Everton, and they did look like, again, it looked like we could have achieved more of a more daylight between the two sides, quite simply, man. Second half, as I said, Everton woke up. They did look like a completely different side. We got our second goal courtesy of Salah Eddine. It's a lovely bit of composure and effort, obviously, for him to finish. He's kept composed in the box when it looks like it's overran. The initial build-up play from a number of players to even start that move, as I said, is a historical Arsene Wenger sort of thing. So it's lovely to see that. So shout to the coaching staff and obviously the players. Braithwaite worked very hard, and it's unfortunate he didn't get to score really or anything. And whatnot. As I said as well, in the second half, there was, Everton had some good chances of their own before we actually scored these goals. Ryan Elabosu, again, right-hand side, he's moving like Dani Alves. Again, first half, that was probably the stronger side for me personally. Second half is paid dividends, because he's obviously scored. It's a good surging run, and it's a good effort to match. Swanson has, made sure Ryan gets a goal to match his assist, if I can remember correctly, because he makes sure it goes in, and that makes it 4-0. And yeah, man, it's a good it's a good game, obviously. It's a good reaction to, obviously, I felt in the second half, Everton looking like they're starting to, looked like they could get something out of the game. But other than that, we did what we needed to do. Fantastic football from everyone involved, from Balogun to Mika to Ryan, you know, to Charlie to Salah Eddine, who had an amazing game. And I know I'm doing this review late, but that's the sort of thing that saw him get involved in the first team where Leeds was concerned, where he didn't get off the bench. But yeah, he's in the thoughts of stuff. Again, he probably wouldn't have been in the lineup had, I don't know, Patino might have been involved as well, or probably, you know, he wouldn't have even been in the thinking if Odegaard was fit to play. But you need to be in the thinking. The managers thought, okay, cool, let me call you up. That means he's got confidence in your ability, and he is one of the standout performers so far at this level, beyond the normal people who get spoken about. He's a very cultured player, everything you'd expect a Dutch lad to have, and it's a match made in heaven coming to this club where that's what we're trying to do, or that's what historically we've been known for in the last, you know, however many years. But it is what it is, man. The scoreline reflects how we've played, you know, confident performers all round, and it is what it is where that's concerned, people. But on that note, like I said, hit the like button. Please comment any opinions you've got. Stay safe, stay in good health, and we'll meet up again soon, man. I'm out. Thank you for listening, of course.
So it's always that active red light, defending.
I think it's like